This is a real and devastating story. It all began when a strange man boarded a subway train carrying gasoline. Without any apparent reason, he set it on fire, and the flames spread at an alarming speed. The conductor tried to extinguish the fire with extinguishers, but they were almost useless. Within just 2 minutes, all 6 carriages of train number 1079 were completely engulfed in flames. The materials inside the train, highly flammable and toxic, released poisonous smoke that quickly filled the air. Amid the chaos, the train driver fled instead of taking action, failing to report the incident to the control center. At the central station, operators noticed smoke on the surveillance cameras, but didn't realize it was a deliberate arson. They tried contacting the driver but received no response. The only option left was to warn approaching trains to enter the station cautiously. This series of failures led to tragedy. When train number 108 arrived at the station, the driver stopped as usual, and the doors opened automatically. Immediately, smoke poured into the carriages. In an attempt to stop the smoke, the driver closed the doors. But this decision proved fatal. Passengers, seeing train 1079 being consumed by flames, believed staying inside their own train was safer. However, they were unaware that the other train's doors had locked due to the fire, and that the station's fire doors had closed, cutting off the power supply. Without electricity, emergency lights failed, plunging the station into total darkness and dense smoke, making visibility nearly impossible. The smoke continued to infiltrate train 108. Desperate, passengers tried to find an exit, but discovered the train was powerless and the doors could not open. Panic surged when they realized their train was also starting to catch fire. In despair, screams filled the air as they tried to force the doors open, but the toxic fumes were relentless, causing many to lose consciousness. Meanwhile, train 1079 had been entirely consumed by flames. Passengers who managed to escape were blocked by the fire doors, trapped in the darkness and smoke, unable to find an exit. The driver of train 108 made one last announcement, asking passengers to remain calm and promising that power would soon be restored, allowing the train to leave the station. But this was another tragic mistake. By the time firefighters arrived, the train was already overtaken by flames. Inside, the 140 passengers had succumbed to the toxic smoke. Despite the firefighters' quick response, the thick, toxic smoke made immediate action impossible. When they finally entered the train, only the metallic skeleton of the carriages remained. All 140 passengers inside were consumed by the flames. Another 52 people on the platform also lost their lives. After investigations, it became clear that train 108 should never have been allowed to enter the station. Both train drivers were held accountable for their critical errors, while the man responsible for starting the fire was sentenced to life in prison for arson and murder. What remains are the last desperate messages sent by passengers before they were engulfed by the flames and smoke. A tragedy that will never be forgotten.